Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I thought we'd do something a little different from the 3 videos on my channel and start preparing my planner for next year. I'm actually doing this really late. It is New Year's Eve and normally I'd have wanted to do this earlier, but for lots of reasons I just didn't get around to it. So I ordered a Plum Paper planner this year on Black Friday. I've used Plum Paper before. I used it for several years, but the past few years I've actually printed my own planner, and you can kind of see last year's planner, but I fell out of using last year's planner really early on in like March or April. But I designed my own inserts for a long time. But this year I just didn't have I didn't have it in me to do that again, especially since I hadn't used my planner since like March. But I'm determined that this year I will do better. So I decided to order Plum Paper again and hope that I could find a style of insert that worked well for me. So I'm generally a notes person. So essentially what I wanted when I first designed this layout, and I used this layout for a couple of years. In the first year, it worked really well. So what I essentially did was at the beginning of every week, I would do a brainstorm of what do I want to get accomplished this week and just put it in this week section. And then every day I'd go through and assign tasks. And I know there are things like dashboard layouts that a lot of people use that are very similar, except they always had like an entire page for this week and one page to smash all of the days together, which, since I like a smaller planner, I use my planner at work and at home, so it goes to the office and comes home with me every day, and I didn't want a huge planner, so I stick with A5. Anyway, that's why I designed the layout this way. But again, I didn't want to deal with getting the planner ready to print this year, so I decided to go back to Plum Paper. To a layout similar to something that I'd used before. I can't remember if it's exactly the same. Anyway, so this is what I ordered. And this isn't exactly an unboxing because I have looked through the package before, but you'll see here I ordered a planner, which I'll get to in a minute. I also ordered some accessories. So one of the things that I didn't like about my Plum Paper planner before, and there's a lot that I do like about Plum Paper, but there wasn't a pen loop. So I also ordered a pen pouch. And where's the other thing I ordered? And some pen loops. So that just attach to the cover, I believe. Since I ordered on Black Friday, I got these paper clips as a freebie, which I'm excited about. I think I might use them just to mark the week that I'm on. Of course, they always send you this cover material sample. And they also send a today's agenda little sheet, which I'm sure I will use at least some days. So like I said, my planner comes to and from work with me, so I think I might leave this today's agenda and then a similar notepad both at work and at my work at home area, so that if the planner ever doesn't end up where it needs to be, I can at least have somewhere to put my notes down. Because what I've been doing this year, since I fell off my planner early on, was just using like random scraps of paper and post-it notes that I would then immediately lose. And it's been really bad for my work productivity and organization. But I have similar pads stashed away, so I like the idea of having my my planner that comes with me back and forth from the office to home, as well as these pads at my desk for days that I don't have my planner. Then I also ordered a couple extra covers. So, oh goodness, I ordered one with my name that I'm going to have to get a post-it note to cover. And then I also ordered one with a monogram. So it will be fun to be able to switch out covers. Then in addition to those covers, like I said, I've used Plum Paper before, And this is, I think, the last time I ordered Plum Paper, again, it was A5. I think the last time I ordered, A5s were still pretty new, and I ordered, I didn't order it pre-punched. I punched it myself because this is before they offered disc punch. And so when I saw that they offered disc punching, I was so excited. And I got this fun one, but this strikes me as fairly autumn. So I think this year I will either start out with the cover that as my official cover, or the green one, but we'll see. So what did I order? One of the things I like about Plum Paper is how much customization and add-ins and things you can use. And obviously, I mean, this thing is thick. I don't want to be carrying all of this around with me every day. So we're going to go through, I think I'm just going to stick with 6 months. So for now, so we're going to, on the rings, we're going to put the first 6 months of the year. I have silver rings that you saw on my last year's planner, but I think I'm going to use these gold medal rings. I don't remember where I got them. I've had them for years, but I think I got them off of Amazon. What I like about them is they aren't plastic. I believe they're aluminum. So of course, with any Plum Paper planner, you get the yearly calendar, which of course is going to go onto the discs. And then you get your special dates paper. And I really like Plum Paper. I know a lot of people don't like the feel of it, but I actually really love it. And that was something I was excited about when I decided to go back to Plum Paper, is I do love the paper. I just know that I'm probably going to miss my layout that I designed for myself a little bit, but what layout did I go for? Here's just the calendar. Sure, if you're watching this, you've seen Plum Paper flip-throughs before, so I don't want to spend too much time. So I ended up with a horizontal layout. I don't remember which one this is. I think the last time I had a Plum Paper planner, and I threw all the inserts away when I moved back here. I think it was like horizontal priorities, and it had a top 3 every day. But I didn't like being boxed into that day to day, so I just ended up with this horizontal layout with blue shading, and I haven't decided exactly what I want to do. So you'll notice there's only a small section for to do this week, which I think is going to frustrate me a little bit, because I had half of a page for a long time to determine what I was doing this week. But I think I'm just going to put in like the big work tasks up here and not break them down. Instead, I'm going to have some sort of project planning sheet or insert that maybe I'll design myself, or maybe I'll just do it on a notepad or somewhere. But I don't know. We'll see how this week works. Maybe I'll end up loving it, or maybe I will hate this and I will just end up printing out my planner all on my own anyway. So let's see, we'll go through. So in addition to the monthly layouts, I added in monthly cleaning sheets, which I don't know if I'm going to use, but I just bought a condo and I'm going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, be moving in there in January. I say just bought it. I bought it like 6 months ago or more. But early this year, I'm finally going to be moving in after I finish some renovations. And I know from the last time I lived alone, I often do fall in cleaning. So I'm wondering if having these monthly cleaning sheets will help, where at the beginning of the month I can plan which like deep cleaning tasks I want to do and check those off so that I don't keep putting them off. So there's January, February, and I think we're going to go up through June. Okay, so we'll go up through June. So here we'll set this aside to put in a box to add to my planner when it's more appropriate. So in addition to the monthly cleaning, I got a fitness section. So instead of having it dispersed, it's all going to be at the end. And fitness is another thing that kind of fell off. I stuck with, I used to run fairly regularly. And I've always been an on and off runner, but since the pandemic, I'd been doing really well at going consistently. But after I bought my condo and started renovating it, I really fell off running. So I don't necessarily know that I'm going to go hog, like, I'm trying to leave myself open this upcoming year to not like strictly do running, but I do want more activity in my life, and I want to make a better effort at having that regularly, because it really does help with my mental health a lot. I can tell that not having that regular physical activity and all of the benefits of that is really affecting my mental state and probably affecting my work and attention span. So one of my goals for this year is to get back onto fitness. So maybe having this fitness section will help. And I did have the fitness section last time I did a Plum Paper planner, and it actually was really motivating to me. So I'll be doing that again. But I don't think I need all of the months. So we probably just want the first page. And then I'm guessing this is every month. So January, February, March, April, May, and June. So I'll move the rest of those into the box for when I'm ready for them. So this is a new add-in for me that I've never tried before, but this reflection add-in. Maybe I'll fill this out in a separate video. So it looks like there's a section for planning the year and then planning the month. So there's some just time to reflect on the month and then set some goals. And then I also got gratitude pages, and I think I just want one of these at the end of every month. I don't think I want this to be a separate section, but they did send me a divider tab for it, but I think I just want this in my monthly section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I'm having a hard day, I can just list out some things that I'm grateful for. Set those aside. And then I also like to use my journal to take notes. So I often take notes in like work meetings because 1, it helps me concentrate, 2, it helps me remember better and I can refer back to it. And like I said, I've been taking like notes on random scraps of paper and things like that. So I'm just going to grab a handful of notes pages. Attach to the back. Okay. And then I also grabbed a few to-do lists, which I don't always use these as to-do lists. Sometimes it's just like random lists of things. I think I've had used these before for things I wanted to buy and projects I wanted to do. So, which I guess is a to-do, but I'll keep 4 or 5 of those. And then let's see what else is in here. Then I think they just include dot grid paper, which I never use. So I'll set up for this to the side, and then contacts, which I never use, and passwords, which I never use. But there is a 2025 dates, which I think I will keep in there because sometimes it's nice to have that to refer to. So far as the tabs, I need through June. So set those to the side. Then put these in the box for when I move stuff in. Then I do want the fitness section. I don't think I want the gratitude section. I think I'm just going to intersperse those elsewhere. Reflection, I do think I'll keep as a separate section, and notes I'll keep as a separate section, but the to-do section I don't need. And then they have this little folder, which I sometimes keep stickers and things in there. I'll have to go grab stickers. But so far as which cover I want to use, I'm actually thinking I want to start with this green floral one that I actually added my name on. I forgot I did that. So I'll just cover up my last name and hopefully you can't read it through the sticky note. But let's just start organizing. So do I like it with the gold, or do I think prefer it with silver? I think I like the gold. And that way I don't have to disassemble my old planner. So we will start out, I guess, by just sticking the rings into the cover. I'm trying to decide if I want the clear plastic sheet. I didn't order one, with my planner this year because I knew that I had one, and then I realized that I might have punched the holes in different spaces. Maybe I didn't, but I wasn't sure how well it would work. So we'll see. All right. So let's start with, we'll add in the 2025 sheet to the back. Then I don't know what I want to do with the to-do list pages yet. And at the front, we have all the intro stuff, and then the January divider, and I think I got not the colorful, but like not neutral or no color. What did they call this? Like, I went for something that was supposed to be like more muted colors because I do like having color in my planner, but I don't like I don't like their colorful option. I generally am a muted color person. So let's put in the January pages. And then in addition to the monthly cleaning page, I think I'm going to throw in a gratitude page. And then we'll start with February.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
So we've got all of our months in. I think what I would like to do next is to have with the way I work, I think I'd like to have my notes section next. And then think reflection. Then fitness. This is what I like about like having a disc bound system or having Plum Paper punch it for you, is I can choose what order I want things in, because they don't always give you that. They give you a lot of choices for customization and like what color scheme you want and which holidays you want on, what you want all of your boxes labeled. So that's the basics, I guess. Put this little folder in the front, but so that's what I ordered from Plum Paper. But like I said, I have made my own inserts for a long time, and one of the things that I couldn't find something similar to what I've made in the Plum Paper layout is my like habit tracking and things like that. So I ended up just printing them out on my own without having to do like an entire year of inserts or an entire 6 months of daily inserts. Like monthly things are easier. So I did one test. So the way that I like to have my habit trackers is like this. I like to have the full year at once. So you can see one of the things that I do not do a very good job at is making sure that the sink is empty every night. So I like to be able to look at this page and see for a full year what I do. And I know Plum Paper has some trackers, but I don't like the aesthetic of them. So I developed these for myself a couple years ago, which I really liked. And I tested printing out a couple of them. So you'll see I have empty sink and then a start of spirituality, which I think with the way it's printed. Anyway, but I need to cut the rest of them because obviously those aren't the only things that I'm doing this year. I print these out of not quite cardstock thick paper, but pretty thick paper. So I think I can really only trim a couple at a time without making mistakes. My goal this year is to read at least one book a month, hopefully more. I do this every year, except I stopped keeping track. Let's see. So the things that I want to track are moving my body. Like I said, I want to get better at, you know, keeping track of my activity. So I'm going to track, oh, looks like make bed is first. So make your bed. And then I think what follows with that will be empty sink, but I've already punched that. So make bed, empty sink. After empty sink, I think what makes sense is move body. So we'll do that next. And then here it needs to be the reading tracker, because then on the next page it's the reading log. So did I read that day? And then what books I complete. And then I also have one for spirituality. So like scripture study, praying, things like that. But that one's already punched. So I think this is the right order. So I bought this. It's the arc punch, and I got it at Staples.
Easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times
Last
I'm
year I made my own like divider for this section. This year I actually just used the to-do section that came with the Plum Paper, which isn't exactly what I want, but it will work. And I think I want the to-do section because it's meant to be filled out every single day. So I think I need to put it at the very front, and then at the end of every day, theoretically, because I'm not always good at doing it, theoretically at the end of every day I can go through and use dot pens to fill in if I did that thing. There we go. So I think I'm also going to slot in these to-do pages in that section. So how is this looking? How is the thickness looking? Yeah, this doesn't look like it's too much to tote around every day. So you can kind of see that my to-do pages are sticking up at the top, which kind of bothers me, but I would be more bothered not having them, not having my habit tracking things. So next year, if I do this again, I'm going to look harder for A5 paper. So let's see, we have the just generic planner stuff, to-do page, which has all of my trackers that are slightly the wrong size. If it really bothers me, I guess I can trim off a tiny bit of the top and the bottom, or just trim off a bunch of the bottom, but then the discs will be off. So since I've already punched, I think I'll have to trim off a bit of the top and the bottom. But I think what I want to do is use different colors of dot pens. So some of these, like make bed, I either did it or I didn't. So, you know, if I do it, I can use a dot pen to like, boop, there, I did it. But for others, like move body, there's lots of different ways I could move my body. So I think I want to choose a few different categories so I can keep track of like, what do I mean by I moved my body? So I don't want too many categories because then I have to keep track of a lot of different pens. But I think maybe taking a walk, going on a run, because that's what I'm most, in the past, that's what I've most done. Either walking or running. But I also should have an option for like strength training and stretching and others. So maybe 5 different categories. Let's see. So let's choose 5 categories. I like this green, but I don't want any colors that are too close to each other. So I think do a green, a brown, maybe a yellow, a red or pink. And then, okay. So I think if I go on a run, that will be green. If I go on a walk, it will be brown. If I do strength training, that will be yellow. Oh goodness, I already forgot the 5 categories. So run, walk, strength training, I think I'll call it stretch. So that could be like yoga or something else. And then I'll have a category for other. And then if I want to, I can like make notations, and I can always add more categories later. But I think 5 is good enough for now, because I mean, even as it is, I don't know that I'm going to be carrying around 5 pens all the time. But outside of here, I track on like an app, and then I have the full fitness section where I can have more details. But this is just a fun little visual to be able to look at it all on one page. So that's move body. For spirituality, this is something I'll do on my own, but there are separate categories. But that's more private to me. I think of my spirituality as something that's very much for me and not something I want to be talking about on YouTube. And then for reading, I think I'll just stick with the green and the brown. For fiction and nonfiction are actually nonfiction, and I think I'm actually going to add a 3rd category. So one of the not issues, so this year, and one of the reasons I started tracking my reading and doing a reading log anyway, is that I dropped off during the pandemic. I dropped off reading like traditional books, and I started reading a lot more fan fiction because it was easy to find. There were long wait lists on like ebooks at the library, and it was hard to get to the library during the pandemic. So I started reading a lot of fan fiction, and I do consider reading fan fiction, like that is reading. And I've read a lot of fanfics that are better than what like I've read in the library and things like that. There's some really talented writers who just do it as a hobby. So I want it to count towards my reading, but I want to focus on reading more nonfiction and I guess general fiction again. Because I read fan fiction, I want to say 4 or 5 times a week I'm reading fan fiction. So I am reading a lot, but in my reading tracker, especially last year, I focused on only like books that I was reading, not fan fiction. So, and I still want to do that, but I do want to track, I do count reading fan fiction as reading. And if you listen to audiobooks, you could add something for listening to audiobooks. I don't. If I'm listening to something, it's much more likely to be a podcast or music. So that doesn't really go in my reading tracker. But I think if you are somebody that listens to ebooks, I think obviously having and you want to do something similar, having a different color for ebooks would make a lot of sense. Okay. And then these to-do lists I can use I can move them around whenever. I think the thickness is fine. I might be able to add in the rest of the year for my fitness and reflection sections. It's like, why not just have it all in there?
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you want to be.
You're supposed to use this. Like I can see that it goes from Daniel. Oh, so is this just rating from 1 to 10? That's fun. We'll see how well I use that.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Oh, still a couple more things to add in here. I do like having some stickers available. I don't normally use a lot of stickers.
Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it.
I do like having some on the occasion that I do want them. So let's see, what did I have in here? It looks like I don't remember where I got these. I don't think this was Plum Paper. I think this is something that I bought at like Michael's. Then here's some like Plum Paper ones. But I think what I use most often, I'm a very functional planner. I like lists and things like that. But I think I might use things like this. Things like that just to add a bit of color. I think this is also Plum Paper things, and I bought these years and years ago. You can tell that I haven't really used a lot of them. I do like the hexagons. These. I think really, I just like shapes to add a little bit of color. We're keeping a few sticker sheets so that I have them on the occasions I want them. This. This will do double duty of keeping the planner closed and allowing me to put a pen. So I think I want the pen on the front so that when I have it set on my desk or something, it will lay flat. I need to look for the pen that I like to use in my planner because I haven't been able to locate it, but I like to use like these Muji ballpoints, but not this color. I like black and blue. I couldn't locate one. I think what I want is to keep like my writing pen and then like maybe one dot grid or one mild liner in here, although I don't know if it will fit. I don't know if I can fit both a dot pen and, oh yeah, it should work. So we'll see how this system works because I do tend to color code and things like that. So I think what I really need to do, and if anybody has suggestions, what I really want is like, those plastic zip things that can go on discs so that I can keep a pen and like 3 or 4 mild liners or dot pens. But I haven't been able to find one that's disc punch that isn't sized for like a happy planner. So I don't know. That's what I really want. But we'll see. For now, I feel good about this setup. I think I'm good to go. Start the ground running tomorrow or when I actually go back to work on Tuesday. So thanks for hanging around while I did this kind of chaotic, messy setup of my planner for next year. And I will hope, I have not high expectations, I have high hopes for next year that maybe I'll be more organized and be able to accomplish more things. Because I don't want to say I didn't accomplish anything this year. I did a lot of things that I'm proud of, but I feel like I could have done more. So I'm hoping that I can actually stick with my system this year and not having to deal with the stress of printing out all of my own inserts, I think will help a lot. I just printed out the ones that I couldn't really find quite the right equivalent to. So we'll see how it works, and maybe I will see you again soon on my YouTube channel. Bye.